am not kidding you. It is working.
Okay, because
it will work.
I just did something weird, so you talk to your people for a minute.
Technicalities. You would think Jedis could get it together with the tech, but no. We try. We do try. At least we're on time today. 1 o'clock.
I had it
on
all set
time
up.
for
I
Jedi
swear
training.
I did.
Jedis are punctual.
Yes.
You're not really fulfilling your training obligations at the moment.
Well, guess what? It's all learning, isn't it? I'll switch the title later. Okay.
Hilarious.
All right.
Yay!
My
She
apologies.
made it. My Padawan made it.
You know what it is, though? Jedis also have to be adaptable.
Thank you. Yes, it's true. It's true. So glad to be here training with you today. You have learned so much. We're going to take it full circle today. So let's begin by just standing, relaxing, breathing, checking into posture, noticing how we feel in the mind-body with a few slow, deep breaths. And then let's begin with a little awareness in movement, turning from the core in our constant bear practice, letting the arms tap against us, still feeling tall, at ease, and aware of breathing. That takes quite a bit of focus. I see a lot of people do this outside when I'm in the parks, even kids do this on the playground. It's such a natural way of movement. The key to making it a powerful Qigong training exercise is to stay mindful. Like children, even some adults that I see do it, will be doing it more like this. Looking around, enjoying the sights, just letting everything go, which is great. But if we really want to focus on our health, well-being, our centeredness, we're aware of good posture, head over tailbone, spine in alignment. We're aware of breathing, ideally from the belly, so that it expands a little as we breathe in, and it comes back slightly to the spine as we breathe out a full, deep, life-giving breath, filled with the Qi force energy. So we're going to be reviewing what you've learned over the past several weeks. You've been dedicating yourself to learning the simplified Tai Chi Sun style form. So we're going to be reviewing that, but you've advanced to the point that it will no longer fit in the screen of our training videos. Yes, so we're only going to be able to review the first half with you and make sure you know what you're doing. And then we're going to take it back full circle to our very first training together, which you may have forgotten a lot of those Qigong strength training exercises we did. So we're going to go back and revisit them, combining the discipline required to learn a Tai Chi form with the awareness of Qigong energy skills to develop your Jedi Qi powers to their maximum. Yes. Okay. I know, a lot of talking. So, now that we've loosened up a bit, let's stop talking and start moving more. Going through our Sun style Tai Chi form. So we start, I'll guide you through it, the first names of the movements, but I know that you remember them. I might give you a hint now and then which direction to step or which hand. But I think you've got this. Let's just review what you have. We begin in the monkey stance, toes to the corners, heels together symmetrically, still tall from the crown of the head, breathing from the lower dantian, from the belly, letting it expand and come back so that we get maximum benefit from the Qi that we breathe in. And then once settled in, we commence. Stepping first with the left foot out in front. Single whip to the right.
Should I follow you or
follow me? coming closer to you for video. To fit in screen for wave hands like clouds to the right. Taking a second right side step. So, my Jedi in training, top hand palm away, like waving. Beautiful. Our third right side step, the bottom hand is below the navel at the height of the lower dantian. We complete our cycle of 3 waves to each side, returning to make sure we're breathing. And then single whip to the left. Every muscle at ease, as though we are floating through the Chi force energy and connecting with it, feeling it on our hands, on our left foot as we step out for the second left side step. Connecting with the gentle resistance of the force that is always around us. For our third, wave hands like clouds to the left before returning back to check in with the breath for our open and close. And here, even though you no farther, we'll close our form, letting the hands settle down right back beside us where we began in stillness. It's important to just be still and let the Chi force energy settle and do its healing work with a few breaths, and then we start to move again. Truly, you've developed your powers well. Like I could feel your energy floating up. Nice.
Good.
Nice.
Thank
So, what did you learn from studying Tai Chi all these weeks?
I learned the importance of consistency and discipline, and doing it every day is whether I felt like it or not, and whether I could do the full 20 minutes to a half hour with warm-ups, or if I only had time just to run through the form that I knew, that it was being consistent was the most important part.
So even if you only had a couple of minutes, just getting in the maybe 3-4 minutes helped to keep the ball rolling.
Yes, and even if I could just do one warm-up, like constant bear, and then just if I had a break at work, or I would sometimes just go through the form up until the point that I learned, and then I tried to learn a new piece of it every day. I tried, and I realized, the feeling of it is I could feel the Chi more and more move through, and then I got better with. At first, it was just a matter of making sure I was breathing. But as I was learning it and working with breath more, I could feel the Chi even more. And it's almost like the form is kind of like a living thing. And as I was learning it, it was like it became more familiar and kind of more a part of me, if that even makes sense.
Yes.
That it wasn't about remembering it, it was about moving through it. And sometimes the form actually, this might even sound weird as it's coming out of my mouth, but it's almost like the form, the movements were like showing me or reminding me instead of my brain.
Yes. You've integrated those lessons quite well. It's said that eventually I can't believe how quickly you learned. You are truly amazing Jedi.
Thank you.
It's said that
Master.
with enough practice, with enough training in your Tai Chi form, eventually you are no longer thinking about it, and the energy of it is moving you.
Right.
Instead of you moving to move the energy. That's astounding that you felt that already. Like that you said, the discipline of doing it every day helps to connect with that energy and incorporating the breath. Tai Chi is actually designed like life itself, so I can understand how you might feel it could be a living, morphing organism. Because when you do it with the breath work, your first move is to breathe in. Just like in life, we start by breathing in, and the last move is to breathe out. Just like in life when we expire. So it is actually a living type of system that we're engaged in, this chi force energy.
Yes.
Excellent. Tai Chi is slightly different from Qigong in that if you don't engage it every day and practice in a disciplined way, you typically won't learn it well. You won't learn it efficiently, and you'll start to become disenchanted with it because you lose that connection with, oh, I'm progressing. Oh, I can feel this getting more powerful. And Tai Chi can be beneficial to those who are very goal-oriented because it gives you a goal to work towards every day. Qigong, which I think you are very well suited for, doesn't necessarily give us a specific goal to work towards. Rather, it requires a higher level of self-discipline where we just do it every day because we know it makes us feel better. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to go back to where we started, our first training session, where I had to kind of test your physical abilities. And we're going to take that discipline idea every day, now that you've established that routine for yourself, and have you incorporate some of these Qigong training exercises into your daily practice to help build more internal strength and alchemize the fire within to send the Qi force energy even higher. So, because of that, we've had a little bit of warm-up with our constant bear and with our form, but let's come back here to getting centered again since we've been doing so much talking. Noticing our good posture, and how it is to simply breathe a full, relaxed breath, sinking the weight into the feet, but letting the crown of the head lift us up so that in between our arms are flowing easily with no resistance, centering ourselves once more into who we are. Once we've done that, let's do a little bit of stretch now to bring awareness into different areas of the body, starting with the waist, hands on hips, just gently circling the waist, stretching out this tissue and fascia, first one direction, feeling how far that stretch will go. It's not like a Western exercise stretch where you push really hard. Rather, you remain soft and you connect with feeling it instead of pushing into it. And then bring it back to center. And let go of any tension with a breath or two. Notice the difference going the other direction. Chances are it feels slightly different as we engage different muscles in a slightly different way. Just being mindful of how the hips are cracking.
My lower back adjusted.
Excellent. And then back to center. Letting go with a breath or two, recognizing the shoulders as we loosen them up before we start to move them more vigorously in our strength training. Noting if maybe it's not a good day to push them, just becoming aware of how they're moving, and then back into stillness. To open the neck, bringing the chin on the chest. Slide it over one collarbone to just gently look over the shoulder out to the side. Bring the chin back onto the collarbone, releasing the muscles to slide it to the other side. Going back and forth a few times, really thinking about relaxing the neck muscles so that we have a better range of motion all around us. When we turn our head, it's looser. And then to come out of it, bring the chin to center on the chest and raise up from there. Let's open up some smaller joints in awareness, holding the hands over a ball. Opening up the wrist joints, like shining up an orb. And then settle onto one foot and circle the other, keeping the ball of the foot connected. Trying to time hand and foot moving together, circling ankle, knee, hip at the same time. Reverse direction in both hands and foot. And then put the foot down. If you lost it in the hand rotation, get that going again, and then bring in the other foot. Some people have a harder time with the second leg they bring in, and it might be easier to envision drawing a circle with your knee in the air to get that rotation going, and then draw the circle the other direction with the knee changing direction so that the hip, the ankle, and the wrist all flow in a different way to open the opposite. And
my left was harder. It was harder to circle.
Most people will find it more challenging with one leg than the other. That's normal if that was you. With practice, it gets easier and easier. Let's have a bigger stretch. Hands on hips. Good posture. So this is called a chambered position. Open fists resting on the hips. We'll have a nice big inhale, opening the chest. Exhale, twist and punch towards your right with the left fist. And then breathe in, come back to center. Breathe out, twist and punch towards the left. Really turning the waist, getting a stretch through the hips. And you can lean the spine into it to help round the back. There, you feel that more?
Yeah.
In the hip and back. We're going for that stretch as we exhale, twist and punch. Inhale, back to center, being tall. One more on each side. Exhale, twist and punch towards the right. Breathe into center. Last one. Exhale with the right fist punching to the left. Breathe in to center. Now a little bit bigger stretch. Bring the feet out wider. Hands on the thighs, not on the knees. That's not good for them. Up on the thighs. As you inhale, elongate the spine. And on exhale, look to your right, drop your left shoulder, looking behind you, getting a deeper stretch. Inhale, back to tall. Exhale, drop to the left, letting the right shoulder sink. Breathe in, elongate spine. Let's do one more each side. Exhale towards your right, looking behind, left shoulder drops. Breathe in, come back to center. Breathe out, turn to the left, dropping the right shoulder for more stretch. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, stand up, roll the shoulders, bring the feet back in. Adjust your belt that keeps falling off if you need to. And then we'll move on to some more vigorous training for you. Let's go into the hyper throws. I'm feeling you have a lot of energy that maybe needs to come out. So let's go into some hyper throws. If you remember that, we're going to bring our feet wider now into a horse stance. So we have shoulder width is Qima, slightly wider is horse stance. Now later we're going to be going into a super horse stance.
Okay.
So what is the difference? In a horse stance, you can actually shift your weight to one foot and easily bring in the other. In a super horse stance, you cannot do that. And we'll demonstrate that later. So come into a horse stance and feel like you can just sit down easily. Bring the hands here in what we would call a deer antler kind of posture. You should feel symmetrical. Now hold that, and I'm going to demonstrate once. It's been a while since we've done it. Here in hyper throws, we really connect with sending energy out our palms, using the force as fast as we possibly can. And it goes like this. We inhale, shifting our weight to the right foot, the hands open, and then, hey! As fast as we can, we throw out our palms. We continue to exhale. The right hand comes around, covering the left. We inhale, bring the hands to the chest, chi and palm. Hey! Exhale, relax. Gather energy on other side. So inhale, draw force into your hands. Exhale, hey! As fast as you can, relax. Exhale, shift the weight to the left foot more. Breathe in, imagine pulling energy into palms quickly. Hey! Relax hands, exhale, gathering up that chi force energy in your hands. Breathe it into them as you inhale. Hey! Exhale, relax, slow it down, envision pulling energy into your hands as you inhale. Hey! Exhale, relax. You're doing excellent. You remembered not to lock your elbows when sending out your hands. Perfect. So as fast as you can. Hey! Exhale. And the voice makes a difference. So we shout out, hey! When we send out energy. Chi force energy emitting from the voice and from the palms. We see it happen. Hey! And then we slow it down on exhale, gathering energy into our arms again. Breathing in. Hey! One more on each side. Exhale, relax. Feel the chi build in hand. Inhale, draw it back powerfully. Hey! Exhale to the other side. Last one as fast as you possibly can. Hey! Relax, exhale, come back to deer antler. Rise up a little to relax. Now, we return to stillness. If you were truly focusing on sending energy out the palms, you probably got a little warm. Yes, dispersed some of that fire through your system. So now we calm. We rest in stillness. And then we'll be doing a much more challenging hyperthrow because your balance is pretty good. Let's keep working on it. So I'm going to demonstrate this one. It's a little more challenging, but you got this. So again, when we throw the chi force energy, this time we're going to be throwing it up. And we want to throw as fast as possible. But first we gather chi. It goes like this. We inhale, the hands float out. We exhale, sink down, holding chi in hand. As we inhale, heels come up, fingers point down. And then, hey! Plant the heels as we throw up overhead. And then we come to here on exhale. We breathe in. We breathe out, sit down. Inhale, fingers down, heels up. Hey! Hey! Exhale, hands float down. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, hold chi, heels up. Hey! Exhale, relax. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, raise heels. Hey! Let go of any tension. Let's do two more as fast as you possibly can. Inhale, hold chi in hand. Hey! Exhale. Last one. Bring out your Jedi fast lightning powers. Hey! And then exhale, let the hands circle back up to deer antler rest position. Do you feel any difference in throwing chi up as opposed to forward at the diagonal?
My body's more hot.
Why would that be? We're doing basically the same motion.
Right. I'm not sure of the answer.
When chi force energy moves through the body, it creates different sensations. And a lot of people experience heat when it's moving more. And especially here, we are sending that energy up. And if you're having a lot of energy, fire in the belly, you will feel that energy rise up, and it can make your whole system hotter than when just sending that energy forward, as we did before, if that makes sense.
So when we were doing the exercise before this, I could feel some obstruction in the liver area with chi, but after doing that, I could feel it move the energy there.
Nice.
So I just want to point that out.
The alchemy of the chi force energy
Yes.
moving through. Excellent. So I said I was going to challenge you a little more. So let's work on balance now that everything's flowing. Big inhale, palms down. Exhale, lower. And walk the feet back in. You did very good with this challenge before, but I'm going to remind those at home and you, if needed, that if balance is maybe not so good today, it's better to hang on to a chair, a wall, a counter, something like that when standing on one leg. Because right now we're going to stretch the legs, front and back, and the hips by standing on first one and then the other. It helps when standing on one leg to look at something straight and tall in your field of vision that's not moving. Maybe a frame, a tree, if you're by a window, a lamp post, something stable and not moving. And then we'll shift our centeredness over to the right leg. Once we feel balance, pick up the left foot in hand. You can counterbalance with the right hand in front. Now first we're going to have our knees together, right beside each other. And then gently pull the foot towards the butt. Gentle, don't hurt, it shouldn't strain. And then release that tension a little. And then bring the knee back behind the other one to stretch more in the top of the thigh, more in the hip flexor area. I think you're at the wall. You can't go back further, can you?
Oh, I see what you're
Yeah, so the knee comes behind the other one. First they're parallel to each other to get more of the quad. And then we bring that knee back behind the other one. Yeah. Can you feel the difference? Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then if we need to, we can put the foot down for balance and then reverse direction by grabbing the inside of the foot and stretching the back of the leg by bringing it out in front. You can't see my other hand in the cameras, but you can counterbalance it off to the side. And we just relax and breathe as best we can. And sometimes it helps to hang on to something straight and tall, or look at something straight and tall, or hang on to a wall, or put the foot down if needed. And then, for the next one, we grab and cradle the ball of the foot in our clasped hands and pull the toes up to the face to stretch the hip rotators. The closer we can bring the foot into the body, the better. So first we bring it kind of into the belly, and then we can bring it out and bring it in higher to the chest. And then as you progress, you'll be able to bring it up to your forehead more, and then overhead. And then hopefully put your foot down smoother than I did. Excellent. And then shake out. But what we do to one leg, we need to do to the other. Like before, you may notice balance is better on one leg than the other. So root into your left leg. Get really comfortable there. Look at something straight and tall. Hang onto a wall or have it close by if needed. And then when stable, pick up right foot and hand behind you. First, the knees are parallel to each other. The legs are completely beside. We can bring the left hand in front to counterbalance. And we're going to pull the foot towards the butt to stretch the front of the quads and keep them flexible so that we can run and jump easily when we need, and then let go. And then bring that right knee further behind the left one. to stretch the upper part of the quad, the hip flexors. Relax as much as you can, and then if needed, put the foot down to change direction, or just bring it around to the front, grab the inside of the right foot or the inside of the leg, and straighten it out. Now, for those of you who this is very hard, I should have shown you first. You can do the same kind of stretch to the back of the leg by having your heel on the ground with your toe up and leaning towards it in a straight stretch, holding on to the foot. But for you, no, you stand on one leg to stretch, Jedi, yes. Others maybe not as versatile. But then put your foot down, if needed, and come into the Hip Rotator Stretch, clasping the ball of the foot, pulling the foot towards the belly, and then maybe bringing it up a little higher towards the chest. And then, if possible, up a little higher towards the head. And then we attempt to put it down softly on the ground. Excellent.
That side
shake
was
out
better.
a little.
That side balance was more stable.
It tends to be that way for people. So, let's get back to our strength training now that we've stretched out. So I mentioned the difference between Qi Ma stance. Let's go over that. Qi Ma, or what some people call ready position, the feet are about shoulder width, toes forward. This is the most anatomically correct position to stand in comfortably. We step out slightly wider, and it's horse stance, as though you have enough space that you can sit on a horse. And indeed, when you sit, you actually sit like you're sitting in stirrups. If you've ever ridden a horse, you sink your weight into the stirrups of your feet, not really on your butt. That's how you should feel standing in horse stance. But we're going to challenge ourselves a little more and step out even wider to a super horse stance. I said earlier, let me come over so I'm not quite in front of your face. I said earlier that in a horse stance, you can shift your weight and bring one foot in. In a super horse stance, that is impossible. So you should not be able to shift your weight and bring a foot in. I cannot. Yeah, that's how wide we want it, because we want to sit down low, but not so low that it's uncomfortable and it hurts us. And we don't want our knees to come really far forward. We want rather our butt to go back like we're sitting down on a stool. So notice how far you can comfortably sit, because we're going to hold it for a while. The first time we did this training, we held for 30 seconds. And you did really well. You did very well, she did. And because of that, we're only going to increase it just a little bit, just a teeny bit, to 45 seconds, not even a minute.
Oh, okay. All right.
45
Thank
seconds.
you.
You got it. Easy, easy. I want you to know that I taught an 86-year-old last night who held it for a minute and a half each one. But that's okay. We'll go 45 seconds for you today. You're still learning.
Maybe we should go a minute.
You want to go? Yes, I knew I could motivate her. Yeah, okay, so we're going to hold for 1 minute in each of these three positions.
Okay.
Remember that you can make it easier at any time by simply coming up a little higher than where you are, right? Adjust for yourself, because we don't want you screaming tomorrow getting out of bed. Let's begin. We make a sword finger with our hands, holding down the outside two fingers with the thumb. And then at the chest, we have a nice big inhale. As we exhale, we sit down and our hands open to the side. And yes, I have a second hand before me that I am looking at. I will not torture you too much. It's only 1 minute.
Have we started already?
We already started. We're holding this for 1 minute. So relax and use as little effort as you can. Truly, that is the key to not spending a lot of energy. The more you can relax and use as little effort as possible, the easier it is to hold these stressful positions and become stronger and more filled with energy because of it. One of the amazing things about doing Qigong strength training is that you don't feel tired after. Rather, you feel energized, and the key is to just relax and breathe. And if you need to stand up, grab your bars on inhale. Let's do it. That's a minute. Exhale. Circle to deer antler. Relax, recover. Fabulous. Well done. As we stand here for just a few seconds, we see that all of our chi force life energy, it goes into recuperating the systems that we just strained, our muscles, our hips, if that was challenging for the hip joints, as for some people it is. We see that our energy too, it goes to our heart, which is calming down. It goes to our breath, which is deepening and making our energy flow evenly and calmly. And I can feel that you've already calmed everything and are ready to continue.
I want to ask, I'm noticing your wrists aren't touching.
Correct.
You don't want them to be touching.
Correct.
Okay, because they might not see that. I'm just...
An excellent detail to notice. You are quite perceptive. She's a good Jedi, isn't she? Yeah, she is. So, are you ready for the next one? The second is the hardest.
Okay, I'm ready.
You requested a minute, but remember, you're always in charge.
Yeah.
And it is better to back off than to hurt yourself, right?
Yeah.
So this one, we actually come up on our toes. So if you need to, don't come up quite as high on your toes, maybe just a little bit.
Okay.
Or you can alter that as we do. And the hands go overhead, and it's only for 1 minute, 60 seconds, that's all. So just as you relaxed as you are now, continue to feel this relaxed as you inhale, sword finger to chest. Exhale, sit down, come up on toes. Relax every muscle and breathe. It's just that simple. So you can come up really high on your toes and sit down really low. Or you can just barely come up on your toes and sit down not as low. It's really up to you how challenging you want to make it. And some days it's better to make it not as challenging. Other days, like today, when you're kind of on fire, I feel it. It's good to challenge yourself when you have that energy to utilize the strength and power of the chi force. Relax. Stop breathing so hard. When you breathe hard, it tells your body, oh, this is hard. Dantian breathing. Like a calm, meditative monk. Easy. To hold for just 1 minute. And then we inhale, grab bars, exhale. Hands circle back to deer antler. Relax. See that all of your energy goes back into you. Relaxing, restoring, heart slowing down, breath getting deeper and fuller. A note on your training. It's better to not breathe out the mouth. It's better to conserve energy to breathe in and out the nose. When we breathe out the mouth, we send out a lot more chi force energy than when we breathe out the nose. And we kind of deplete ourselves unnecessarily. It has its use when the heart is racing to help fuel it. But your heart wasn't racing, was it? Not too much. It's better to breathe slower because that sends the message to the mind-body, this is easy, this is not a big deal. We have one more. You feel ready.
I'm ready.
This one's the easiest. It's only a minute. You've done things that were very challenging for years, I'm sure. 1 minute is nothing. So big inhale, sword finger to chest. Exhale, sit down, hands forward. So now our feet are flat. This one's the easiest as the last one. So just relax everything as much as you possibly can. And you can imagine perhaps sitting on an energy stool. That makes it easier. It's holding you up, this chi force energy. But still you feel fully connected and rooted into the earth. Your shoulders are at ease, fingers pointing up, drawing your energy up so your hands and arms float effortlessly.
I don't know if I can make this one.
You can make it. We have 15 more seconds. Come up just a little. Come up just a little. Come up a little more. You got this. 10 seconds. You can do it. Come up a little more. And let's close. Big inhale, grab bars. Exhale, pull yourself up. You did make it. Well done. See that all your energy is going into the areas of the body that felt the strain. See that every cell recovers incredibly quickly. All of your midichlorians rushing to those areas, repairing, restoring. Do you know midichlorians?
Please explain.
Midichlorians are part of what connects us to the chi force energy. In Jedi theory and philosophy, some people are born with more midichlorians in their blood, and therefore it's easier for them to connect to the chi force energy. Other people don't have quite as many, but they can develop more of a relationship to chi force by training consistently. Yes, we are part of the chi force energy field. We are born into it, all of us. And once we have fully recuperated, then we close by inhaling, turning the palms down. Exhale, lower the hands, walk the feet in safely, and shake out. So, to close our training today, you've done enough. Good work. Let's settle chi with a few inhales to gather up chi force energy, raising hands. Exhale, settle energy. Do a few at your breath rate. As we inhale, we feel the chi, we rise up through. As we exhale, we envision it touching every cell in our body. When we're receiving, our palms are open. When we're giving to ourselves, our palms slightly face us, utilizing the Laogang points in the palms. One more to settle all that fire. And I have a feeling you feel quite a bit more balanced now from all that energy that was stirring.
Yes.
Good. So, give yourself a good job. Good job, buddy. Excellent. We tap up the right side of the belly and down the left. Thank you, organs, for flowing. Thank you, strong hip bones. Thank you, quads. Now spend a little more time massaging your quads because they worked hard in those stress positions. And if we spend a little time massaging them, even just a few minutes, they won't get sore. Thank you so much for being strong and capable. Thank your knees with a few circles in both directions. Love you, knees. And then down the outside of your beautiful Legs all the way to your toes, keeping your balance up the calves. Thank you, calves, for keeping up on tiptoe. Thank you, hamstrings. A little more time on hamstrings because they worked hard holding us in those lowered positions. Glutes especially were working. Shake up that booty. Let those muscles jiggle around so they don't get sore from training, and then down the outside so the chi flows down the outer meridians of the body and up the inner meridians all the way to the backside. Here we want to massage the back a little, moving that tissue around if it got sore at all, and then sending gratitude for the whole back, up the back as far as we can reach. Thank you, every vertebrae, for keeping us upright, reaching down, pulling that energy and gratitude up to your beautiful brain. Thank you for remembering more and more Tai Chi training, brain, and connecting with the force. Coming down the outside to the ears. We give them a little pull away from the skull, touching all the way around the ear, from the top down to the earlobe, massaging the whole ear, and then coming down to the throat, gently stroking. Thank you, voice, for holding out through our training. At the chest, pick an arm, extend it to the side, and tap out the front side of your arm. Thank you, bicep, for being able to deliver the chi all the way out in the hyper throws through my palm, up the backside. Thank you, chi, for flowing up and around to the other arm. So blessed to have them both. Even though we know certain people can exist with bionic arms, it's better to keep the one you're born with. It works the best. Thank you, arm. Thank you so much, heart, for flowing that chi force energy out in the world. Thank you, whole body. Your training is going well, mind, body. Good job.
Yay!
And good job to you.
Thank you.
Progressing more and more to the point that we can't even do her training on the screen because it's so big now. But we'll continue on developing Qigong skills here with friends next week, Wednesday at 1.
Bye. Thank you.